Hello and welcome back to the Hobby Man. In this episode we're going to be doing another stage of the Dodge Charger. So we're going to be doing stage 4 of the Dodge Charger, and then the next video out from this will be the stage 5, and that will sort of kind of bring it up level to where we are with the Supra. Before I go into just having a quick flick through the magazine and stuff, I have spoken about in previous videos about Skyline being done. I have got bits for the Skyline, but there is a bit of a thing behind that that I would explain at the beginning of the video when I start the Skyline build. Well, when I say start Skyline build, part of it is that I've already actually started building before I done this channel, before things kind of went a bit up in the air with trying to get the like the stages all ordered and stuff like that, because they were having production problems, so it kind of went on hold for a little bit. And obviously then they brought these two out and I started doing these, basically I kind of already gone up to about stage 8, I think, on the Skyline. So when I do start them videos, it will start from stage 8 or 9. I can't remember which one it is. I haven't opened the box for a while. But we're going on from there. But again, I'll explain it a little bit more better when I do the Skyline videos. But anyway, getting back to this, as I said, yeah, we are doing the stage 4 of the Dodge Charger. Next week's one will be the stage 5, and that'll bring it up to the level of the Supra where we're at with that. And then when we're up to the stages, so I'm kind of at 8 on both of these Dodge Chargers and the Supra. What I hope to do is just do stages alternately a week. So with the Skyline, the Dodge, and the Supra, we just do it a week. I might be able to, I don't know, but I might be able to release a stage for each one every week when I get to that point. But we'll just see what time's like and everything, because obviously I do work full time in that as well. Anyway, getting back to it, let's get into the build. Okay, so this is the magazine that you'll get for stage 4. Like, you know, we go through this every sort of stage. You know what to expect. But yeah, please, you know, if you are doing these, read these articles and stuff that are in these magazines. They're quite interesting to the franchise of the films and stuff, and quite a bit about the cars, etc. So yeah, they are quite interesting. So in this episode or stage, we'll be doing the front left brake and suspension. That's what we'll be doing. Okay, so there's the stages. We've got, I think, 12 stages, or steps, shall I say, in this stage. And we call upon the wheel as well from stage 2, I believe, at the end of this. And then again, some stuff about hot rods. That's the stage 4 magazine anyway. And then we got the parts in this box here, that I'll get out and lay out so we can have a look at them. Like I didn't do last time. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's get the parts out. Okay, so these are the parts that are laid out. You can see all your brake bits and suspension parts down here, and we got some screws to go in. Quite a few screws in this section. Obviously looks like your wishbone section and all that. So yeah, these are your parts. Good. So some of these are mixed materials. So some of these is metal. That's metal as well. And then some of it's plastic. There's a mix in both here. Okay. Well, that being said, let's get into the build and start with the stages. See you in a moment. Okay, so this will be section 4.1 and 4.2. Just make it a bit easier because there's only a couple of little bit, well, one little part to do on section 4.1, so I thought combine the two together. So in the 4.1 part, it's you want your brake disc, and you want this piece here, which has got to slide into two little holes. So we got a hole either side, and we got two little pins. Ooh. And they need to slide in together into there and into that one there. Okay, so that's, yeah, that would have been, that's like 4.1 part of it. So that creates your disc. Yeah, and now we've got to insert this part here. This is also to do with the discs. So on here, I don't know if you can see, but there is a little pin here on there. I'll show you that pin's got to line up with one of them there, and then you end up with two screws here on this side. So if we place that pin in there. Oh. And with this screwdriver, so let's just get that ready. Sorry, I do this every time, don't I? Right. Let's get this part in there. Line up. Make a little dab of oil on that one because it is going into a metal part. Not sure that's lined up completely properly. Try again. No, we're missing it. So we're missing it. Right, let's get the screw back out. Get the screw back out and start again. Right, in we go. In. Oh, why does nothing ever stay in place? That should be like that. Oh, here we go. And get the second one in. Get a dab of oil. Line it up. And there. Right. Come on. One, two, and there we go. So that is section 4.1 and 4.2 complete. Okay, moving on. Okay, so section 4.3 and 4.4 is going to be fitting the base plate to the spindle and putting the brake caliper over, basically. Let's get a couple of screws out there ready. It's too short. So, first in 4.3 is this axle spindle and the back of the brake caliper. They need to slide over. So you got the two parts here. So you got your spindle. That slides just over the top of that there. With two CM screws. With a bit of oil. They screw into the top holes on here. It goes in there like that. And then the second one. Goes in there like this. There you go. So both of the top holes, both screwed in. As you can see. Okay. Might be a bit loose. Screw these up a little bit more. That was very loose actually. I didn't do that up tight at all. There we go. That's it. The part's there. That's it now. So you can see it's actually screwed down properly now. And there we have it. That was like section 4.3. So in section 4.4 in this, two more screws. So we've got the brake caliper, a spindle which has got to go in through the middle, like that. So there we go, as you can see. And then we got the brake caliper, that then sits over the top here. And you can see these on the side plate. You've got two screw holes here. Got a line with that, and they go in there like that. So that goes on there like that. And let's get that screwed in. Again, I'm just doing a little dab of oil on these screws. This is to stop them binding or anything, because they're going into metal. One. Two. Let's do these up. Okay, and there's your brake disc, and your caliper, and that is section 4.3 and 4.4. Moving on. Okay, so section 4.5 and 4.6. So we've got the shock absorber cylinder and the upper spring mount. And these goes inside here like that. So again, you can see it's squared off on either side. So it'll only go in, it'll only fit in one way. Going in, so push that in there. Things come out the other side there, and then with a EM screw, just screw it in the top here. Sorry, moved it off the camera then. So there we go, as tight as I can get it. That's on that, like that. And now we are going to put in this piece here, which is, I'm sure, is kind of like wishbone. So it goes in this way around. So you've got the piece like this, and you've got the raised thicker side in here, there, which then gets screwed into the side here. Okay, so that screw there, it's screwed in there, and the other side will get screwed in the opposite side. So these are using FM screws on this section here. Let's see if we can get this lined up and get this piece in. Let's get your screw ready. I'm going to do this. Sorry. Screw ready. Get it lined up. And of course that's missed there, isn't it? Get that piece. I'll get that piece in there. Let's get the screw ready. I think that's in there like that. Okay, let's just do these up now. Sorry, there we go. So 1 and 2. So that is it. That is stage 4.5 and 4.6. All done. There we go. Okay, so sections 4.7 and 4.8, we've got to start assembling the shock and the travel pin. So with part 4N, which is this part here, we need to insert the travel limiter, which is a little triangle piece. And this, and he goes straight into the top of here, and with it fixed by a little pin there. So that gets pushed into there, like so. There we go, it's pushed in. And then with the shock arm, it needs to go into here. So you need to start it into there, and it's the first screw hole here is where we're going to be screwing it. And with the FM screws again, we're going to screw it up. Get it in there, right. Okay. All the time. Come on. It's got that, yeah. There we have it. There we have it. So there's that piece. Is that coming out? So there's that piece in. So yeah, so there's the pin restrictor and the part of the shock. And there. And now we've got to put in the kingpin cylinder facing downwards. Okay, so in 4.8 part, and this cylinder here, which slots into there, to the front end. So we got this little part here, which is called a 4M. So we'll go into 4N at the end here. Okay, and that again is screwed up with an FM screw. So that's in. Let's just get the screw ready. I'm doing all this with the tools that they supplied. I really ought to dig my spanners and out, my screwdrivers and that out really. But sorry, a bit off screen that was. Right, let's screw this up. Get it in the right place. But I think we're in now. You see it's shaded a little bit of metal from the top of the screw there. That was really tight to get in. I'm not too sure if that was supposed to be like that, but it's in. So yeah, there we go. That is section 4.7 and 4.8. Marvellous. So, carrying on with this part here, this is 4.9, is the knuckle arm into the kingpin and fixed in place by an EM screw, which I'm just about to get out of the bag now. Get this screw out. Come on, out you come. There we go. Okay, so this part here, the 4K, the knuckle arm, I'm assuming, that slots in over the kingpin, which is here. So it goes in there like that, and then with a EM screw, dab of oil, this gets to go in there. Out. Well, that went in a bit easier. Let's keep going a bit more. There we go. So there we go. That is 4.9 complete. Okay, so this is going to be 4.10 or 4.10, whatever way you want to read it, say it. So yeah, so we're still working on this here at the moment. We're going to attach this now, the arm, to the back of the brake, to put together the suspension and that. So these two on this knuckle, these two holes here, they've got to go into the back of these two holes here at the bottom on the brake discs, using CM screws. So I can see this is always, looks like it's going to be a little bit tricky to try and do this, but we're really going to go with it. So it's a little bit more trickier for me doing this stuff because I have a camera in the way, and sometimes it can be a bit harder to see what I'm doing. Oh, so we've got one screw in that side. Dab of oil. Start off a screw in that side. Let's get this done up. One. Two. And there we have it. That is 4.10, 4.10 complete. Excellent. Look at that. It looks quite cool, doesn't it? Especially with the discs and the caliper. It's cool. Right, moving on. Okay, so this is going to be section 4.11 or 4.11, and that's attaching the wishbone to the brake arms and the knuckle. So we start to create some sort of shock. So okay, so on this part that we did originally, we've got part of the top of the suspension, and this piece here. So this bit actually slides inside. Like that, and then you got this little eye piece here, which is for the part 4L, which actually slots on the top of there. So it slots on the top of that wishbone bit, and I'll take it back off. Slots on top of that wishbone bit here, right, and that has got to sit between there. So once that slides inside. Once that slides inside of here, that has got to go into there, and then it's got to be done up with a is it GM? Yeah, GM screw. a hold there, is it? Go right the way through. Oops. Get it in there, do it up. There we go. You can see that's all on there. So that is section 4.11 or 4.11. There we go. Okay, so in this section, I need an iron screw. Didn't get an iron screw ready. But section 4.12 or 4.12, let's get this iron screw out. We are actually attaching now the left wheel, and we've done it in stage 2, to the brake setup now, and to the wishbone and that. So we're going to join that wheel. So here's the parts that we're going to need from stage 2, which was that little washer, little hub, and obviously the wheel itself. So we're going to need them parts, and we're going to now assemble the wheel to the brake. So obviously this spindle here needs to go into here, sit in there like so, and then with that little black washer, that needs to go over the top, and then with, set this up with the iron screw. Why do I never do this? Right, screw on. Let's get the screw in there, straight through that little washer, straight into the spindle and the back of the brake, and we can do this up. Make sure it's tight up. There we go. So on there. So that's that. That's the wheel on there. Does spin. Does spin. As you can see. Yeah, so the final part is now we're sticking the hub cap over the top. So we've got these two little pins on there, which we've obviously got to fit into the two holes here, and then they can be pushed in. Be done. So let's get these lined up and get them in. And there we have it. There we go. That is 4.12 complete for that section. Obviously, apart from like spare screws that you get left over anyway all the time, which probably may come in handy later down the line, there is this spring that's left over. But do not worry, it does say in this stage that this will be used later on in the next stage. Not too sure why they do that. You know, that little spring like that, well, why not just put it in the next part? Why put it in this part and, you know, have it left over lying about for you to lose, so to speak. But anyway, yeah, so we'll put this to the side, this spring, like I say, I put it in this bag, and that will be used in the next stage, or in a stage later on. So there we go. Okay, that is 4.12, and stage complete. Well, that's it, guys. That is stage 4 for the Dodge Charger. Obviously, next Friday's release will be the stage 5 of the Dodge Charger, and then we'll be caught up. Should be stage 5 apiece for the Supra and the Dodge, I believe. I need to double check that, but I'm sure it will be stage 5 apiece. Yeah, and then we'll move on. We'll get them both up to stages 8, and then I will introduce the Skyline, into the mix. So we have 3 of them going, and we'll try and do that. So, like I say, when I did a first Skyline video, which will be from, I think it's stage 9, because I think I'm up to stage 8. I could be wrong. Could be stage 8. But anyway, when I go through that, obviously I explain a little bit more as to why there was no stages previously to that, because but I will do that in that video. I won't waste the time now. But yeah, then I've got I know I keep mentioning there's the remote control cars coming up as well, but I've literally just been so busy with work and family life and that, I haven't got around to it, but they will be coming. Obviously there's videos as well. I've got pit bikes that I need to repair, rebuild, so they'll be doing videos on that as well. I'm just creating some space in my garage or shed somewhere like that, just to try and do that. But there's that to do. So yeah, there is some stuff coming. The channel will build slowly, as and when I get more time and stuff. But it will be just a gradual mover, and hopefully you guys will start to enjoy the videos a lot more. I like making them, but yeah, I'm trying to improve the videos every week or as much as I can. So yeah, as again, this is a hobby for me. I like building these models and stuff like that. So I don't get paid to do that. I don't get sponsored for fan aim. I'm just general natural person, just making these videos. So yeah, please like and subscribe if you do, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao for now.